Hi. So, if you have a website where you are serving Google Ads, then you probably want to do this. Have you ever looked and seen that one of these auto-placed ads has no boundary? It just bleeds right into your content. So, this is a Frontier banner ad here, and it has no border. And as a designer, I hate that. Now, most of the ads that are served by the auto placement do have a border, but it is not required. But one thing that you might want to do on your website to better separate your content from your advertising is to create a border and add the words advertisement. Right? So if you're looking for how do I write advertisement before an auto-served ad with Google Ads, or how do I force a border around my auto-placed Google Ads, then you've come to the right place. So I'm going to demo on the artsandbricks.com blog, and it is a WordPress blog. So I'm going to be using CSS in the block editor for Gutenberg. But this same CSS can be used on any website that is serving the auto-placed ads. So don't feel like this is restrictive if your site isn't WordPress or if you're using a different type of theme. The goal is that you find where you put your CSS and it will capture the auto-placed ads and define your styles. All right. So what we're looking at is Google-auto-placed. That is the class that's added to the div when an auto-placed ad is put onto your website from Google. And we are looking at the pseudo class before. So before the div, we can add the word advertisement. And if you want it to go above this div, you can add a position relative and top, whatever's a good fit for you. If you like your words to be uppercase, then you can do a text transform. If you know what color you want your word advertisement to be, you could do that with color. And again, you can choose your font size. So any of that kind of styling for the word advertisement, you can use here. And then if we look at the code, inside this div with the class Google Auto Placed, the iframe is going to be what the actual advertisement is. So that is where you could force an add border or a shadow or a background color or something like that. So I'm going to grab this code and show here we are before. If I go ahead and come into inspect, I can click here. We can see if we come up in the code that we have the div class Google Auto Placed. So it is with 100%. Within that, I have the iframe right here. All right. So if we go ahead and bring in some of our text here, if I type in iframe, I can give it a border. All right, so that is already helping, right? I have put a thin border. Now I could change my border. So this is the iframe. So I have it as 1 pixel. I could say 3 pixels if I want it to be thick. 2 pixels, I could change the color. You can do 1.5 pixels. So that is really kind of up to you what you want that to look like. All right. So then we want to add the word advertisement up of. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put in. All right. So now I've been able to put in this Google Auto Placed pseudo class before, and it adds my advertisement and all uppercase 10 pixels above so that it sits above this border and is smaller text in a light gray. So to me, this helps me feel like the advertisement is now separated from my content and really clear to users And this is something that does not affect these type of ads. It's only the ones that have div class Google auto placed, but it does affect this top one, right? So I've added advertisement and it has my border. So you can see this one actually had a border. So this is giving it a little bit of an extra one, which might be, one of the decisions that you would make for Google auto placed. Iframe, you can see if we go here, I did 1.5 pixels. If I went to 1 point, that's a little bit thinner. You can see if I turn this off, that is what the ad had by default. It had a thin border and I added border. So its border was rounded, mine is square, which is why you can see it a little bit more. All right. So that's how I picked what kind of styling I wanted from Inspect. In this case, because I am using Gutenberg, I can come into my styles. I can add them here. And this would be globally now applied to my site when I add this. I'll go ahead and say save. All right, so if I come in and I say empty cache and hard reload, I will know that it's working because all of my Google placed ads will now say advertisement above it, and that's coming from my website's CSS. You can see this Frontier ad, it has it as well. Now, in this case, it doesn't seem like the text being above it is quite enough. So perhaps changing, let's see. So that's the before. If I just do top with no pixels, it sits really nicely there. Let's see about here. Up there it does too. So I think I'm just going to have no pixels. So that would just be default and it will align better. All right, so to me, that is feeling a lot better to have my advertisements have a border around them. And is just one of the ways that I'm going to start cleaning up the layout of my website when it is using Google Ads auto placed. All right, so I hope this helps you. The CSS is in the comments and also on the blog.